Just 3 months ago, this was nothing but raw land and a dream out here. And today, I'm laying the flooring in the very first project I've built here with my own 2 hands. It's hard to put into words how surreal this moment feels. This little shed is more than just a building. It's proof that dreams become reality, one board, one nail, and one day at a time. My heart is overflowing with joy, gratitude, and excitement because I know this is only the beginning. Every project that rises from this land will be built from my own vision, my own determination, and my own 2 hands. And I can't wait to see what this place becomes. The shed is almost done. Yay. So I have, as you guys can see, the walls are already painted and everything. So the last thing to do was to lay the flooring down on the floor of the shed. And originally, excuse the mess. It is a mess in here. So originally I had decided on having this as a temporary home for me, but I have now decided that it will not be my temporary home due to the number one reason, to be honest with you, is there is a lot of mistakes that I've done with building out the inside of this shed. A lot. And with those mistakes, I feel like this is just not a livable shed for me. I've never built anything. I've never hung things, hung plywood up. I've never nailed walls together. Heck, I've never even painted walls. So this was all new to me, and it was all a learning experience for me. And I've definitely learned a lot. The mistakes that I've made with this shed right here, I'm still trying to figure out how I can fix those mistakes. But for right now, I'm just going to continue living in my bus because that's what I've been doing. And I have everything that I need in there. And as far as this shed goes, this shed is going to be somewhere where I can cook inside. It's also going to be my food pantry, my storage area, so I can go get all my stuff out of the storage unit that I have, that me and my friends got together. And then it might also be a lounge area. To have as a lounge area. So, yeah. We'll go over the mistakes in a little bit because maybe that's something that you guys can give me some suggestions about and maybe help me out. I mean, it's not a lot of mistakes. I'm looking at them right now, but because I do have OCD, it's something that really will bother me. And this shed is just not something to live in. No. I have something else, another idea in my head anyways, that I'm going to make this whole entire space livable because I can't realistically start building my home until next year due to the weather for the rest of the year that we will have here at the property. But anyways, let's get into it. I don't want to start rambling on. I have already started working on the floor of this shed. I actually already got half of the flooring done. So for the flooring, I decided to go with, the boxes are pretty heavy, this peel and stick vinyl. I'm not going to pick it up, but I've already laid one box down of this peel and stick vinyl. Since I've decided not to have this as my temporary home and it will just be for the food storage for me to cook in and possibly a lounge area. I have the extra refrigerator in here too. I decided not to really, I stopped going all out on spending so much money on getting this shed done and everything. So that's why I decided to go with the peel and stick vinyl tile. It is the cheaper, more budget friendly way to do your flooring. This is, well, that has paint on it. You can tell I've already been working. So this is the color that I went with. It's kind of like a gray oak. And basically you just peel back. Be very careful. This stuff is really sticky. Very sticky. So you have to be very careful. And then you just lay it out on the ground. And I have a roller. Oh, here it is. So once I lay you guys will see, I'll show you how it's done. So I got this roller to roll on the tile. And, yeah. So, let's get to work. So as you can see, I've already gotten half of the floor done. So all the way around, all there. I think it looks pretty good so far. One of the first things that you want to do before laying this tile down, obviously, is make sure you sweep the floor good and get all the dust, dirt, whatever else is down here off the floor. Also, when laying down this vinyl flooring, you don't want to do the flooring. See if I can make this make sense. You know, you don't want to do it like that one and then this. You want to do it kind of zigzag, if that makes sense. So basically, like for right here, I cut a piece, and so the piece is cut, I think like 18 inches is where it is right here. And then I have a long one, and then I have another long one. So since this one is a short one right here, I will be putting a long one right there, and then probably put another long one right here, and then cut a piece at the end, and then work my way back. So basically, you don't want them lined up perfectly. You want them to be off-centered. I hope that makes sense. I don't know how else to say it. So, yeah, so you want it to be off-centered. So like all the lines and everything, I mean, obviously you want to try to do it where you can't see the lines so much, but you're going to see the lines. So like here is a line, meaning it's two separate pieces of panel. So this will offset that. And yeah, that's what you do. So then the paper on the back of this vinyl, you have to be very careful peeling it off. Very careful peeling it off, because this stuff is so sticky. So you want to make sure you get all the paper off the back of it. I know what some people are thinking. Some people are probably like, you know, because this is also new to me too, putting flooring down. And so I didn't know if I was supposed to use more adhesive for the floor, like more glue for the floor, and then put the tile on top of it. But after reading the directions for this tile right here on the Home Depot website, it says do not use extra adhesive for laying the flooring down. So you gotta be very careful. And honestly, it's pretty strong enough, so. And then you wanna make sure that you have it completely up against the wall and completely up against the other tile. See how easy that is? Easy peasy, very easy. This is the, oh my knee. This is the easy way. And like I said, budget friendly way too. So, if this was an actual house of mine that I had built, that I'm going to live in permanently, would I have gone with this flooring? Probably not. Actually, no, I would not have. So, once I decided I wasn't going to live in the shed, like I said, there was no reason for me to start spending more money on this shed. I did still want it to look somewhat decent and nice though, because of my OCD-ness, but also because it is going to be like a lounge area and stuff like that. Eventually down the road, I think I'm going to put a shelf at the very top. What is that called? Oh my God, why am I having a brain freeze? Oh my God. You know, the long shelf that goes across the wall that you can store stuff on top of it. That thing. I'm having a brain freeze. My mind has not, my mind hasn't been all there lately. So, yeah, so that's going to be later on down the road. I'm not, because that won't take that long to do, but that will give me more space to store things inside here. So, yeah. So now I'm going to finish up doing this flooring, and then I could start getting everything situated in here. But I am going to show you guys those mistakes that I made inside the shed and see what you guys think that I should do. But for right now, let's get this flooring done, because as you see, I don't have that much to do. I only have half of the flooring left to do, and I can knock that out probably within the next hour or so. So I'm going to do that now. Maybe a little bit longer than an hour. Okay, as you see, I had to measure this little spot right here because this is one of those off-centered cuts that we're gonna do. And you want to make sure it fits in there perfectly. Which side did I cut on? I already forgot. Okay, I think it was this side that I cut on. So stick it a little bit underneath the door thing right there. Perfect timing. The floor is done in the shed, and I've got it situated a little bit. Real quick, because a couple of you guys were asking about these things. I've already told you guys all the beeping noise that you guys hear in the background are these solar repellent. Perfect timing, thank you. Appreciate that. So you just stick them in the ground, and I have them, right, I'll have to straighten that up later. I have them all over around the outside of this whole entire area. And so they vibrate and they make the beeping noise, obviously. And that deters and keeps away any critters and snakes and stuff like that. So far I think it's been working. I'm gonna get me another set though. Anyways, yeah, so the shed is pretty much done. Got the floor in, got the floor down. I'll turn this around and show you guys, because now, oh, hello, Mr. Cricket. How are you doing? So this is gonna go into with one of the reasons why I decided not to make this my temporary home and live in it, because the critters can still easily get in here. I mean, realistically, the door is not, I haven't even tackled the door yet, you know, so I already knew the door was going to be an issue for keeping bugs and stuff like that out. So I will be putting like an extra weather stripping down there and stuff, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'm not really concerned about it because I'm not living in it. So this will be, you know, I got this fridge right here. Because originally I was just going to get a stand-up freezer, because, you know, I want to be able to, especially for like the winter time, in case I get snowed in up here, I want to be able to, just to be on the safe side, survive out here for at least a month, you know, in case I can't get out of here. I do have a Jeep that has 4-wheel drive, so, but I don't like driving in the snow. But instead of getting the stand-up freezer, when I went to Home Depot, I saw these refrigerators right here, and they pull, like right now, it's pulling 60 watts out of my power station right now. And then obviously once it gets up to temperature, it just stops pulling the power. So it doesn't pull that much. Whereas the stand-up freezer, I think, would have pulled more. And the freezer is pretty good in there, pretty decent size. So between the freezer that I have in my bus and then the freezer that's on that refrigerator right there, is perfect for me to stock up on meats and freeze stuff and everything, just in case I get stuck on the property during the winter time. I'm fine on food. And then I do have a stand-up refrigerator inside the bus, as you guys know, but it's small, and I've been stuffing things in there, you know, vegetables and all kinds of stuff. So I needed a bigger refrigerator. So now I have a bigger refrigerator. Then I have the kitchen countertops right here, or kitchen cabinets, sorry, with the countertop on top of it. These will eventually probably go into, well, they will. They probably eventually will go into my actual home when I get that built, which will be way down the road. So for the time being, they're gonna go in here. And I do have some wall cabinets that are gonna go above these cabinets right here. And the little butcher block countertop that I have right here. So basically, because I hate cooking inside the bus, I mean, there's just not a whole lot of room inside the bus. This is definitely bigger than the inside of my bus. So I plan on doing my cooking inside here. So the shed right now is going to be used as my outdoor kitchen area. I'm going to get, you know, I have the cabinets that are going to go on the wall up here. I have 2 cabinets, wall cabinets. So that will be for like my dry food and stuff like that. And I plan on getting some kind of another stand-up cabinet thing or whatever for extra storage, to put stuff in, because this is also still going to be for storage. But I just don't want things strewn all over the place and everything. I still want it to look pretty decent. Now, as far as the mistakes that I did, I mean, really there isn't a lot of mistakes that I did, but the mistakes that I did do are pretty noticeable, and I don't know how to fix them. And because this is just turned back into a shed, and not a tiny home, I'm not really too concerned with the looks of it. I take that back. I do still want it to look kind of nice, though. I don't want it to look trashy, because that will really trigger my OCD, which my OCD will trigger my mood swings and my stress and depression. But I guess basically what I'm saying is I don't want to have to take the plywood back down and redo the walls. The professionals, that's what they would have done, but I'm not doing it. So I'm just going to turn this camera around and show you guys what I'm talking about, see what you guys think and what your suggestions are. I am going to, next time I go back to Home Depot, I do have to put in a pretty big order at Home Depot for my next project that I will be doing, that I'm pretty excited about. So I'm gonna have to put a large order in, and I'm gonna have to have them deliver my next delivery, because it's some very large items, because I'm going to be doing a big project around the property, which I'm pretty excited about. Due time, you guys will find out. For right now, I want to hear what your suggestions are. I'll go ahead and show you right here. So as you guys can see right here, this is one of the corners, and pretty much all 4 corners in here have the huge crack all the way down. Now the outer walls, I guess is what you would call it, the outer walls, before I put the insulation in the plywood, they were pretty sealed up. So I'm not really concerned with the big huge crack like this being in all 4 of the corners. I'm not really concerned about critters getting in or bugs getting in through these cracks right here, because I know the outer wall on the other side of this plywood and the insulation is pretty sealed up, very good. I walked around and checked everything pretty good. But I don't like the way it looks. I can't stand that. And it's really bothering me. So I don't know what I should do. Somebody mentioned crown molding to me, but I'm not really familiar with crown molding. And how does that work? How do you put just a strip of crown molding on that? So I don't know. The other piece that I don't like is, I'm just going to turn the camera around because it's a lot better. So hold on. So yeah, you can see right there in the corner, you know. And y'all be nice. I've told you guys multiple times that I am completely new to doing all this. I've never even hammered a nail into a wall. So this was all new to me. I'm surprised I even got plywood up on the you know, walls or whatever. So I don't know how this happened. I guess I just didn't squeeze it in good enough. I don't know. So, but it's on. That one's not too bad right there. But down there it is. And then there. And then over in that one. And then up here, that's exactly how I wanted to leave that whole area up there. Because I kind of like that natural wood look still. So I wanted to leave that natural wood area with those pockets in there. Because I plan on putting like some kind of decoration thing. Those long strands of plants. Like fake plants or whatever through there. So I purposely left that like that. So this is the other section that's the ceiling and the wall, the back wall right there. So I need to get that closed up too. So that looks pretty bad. And then I don't like the cracks in the ceiling where the plywoods are connecting, but that's not a big issue to me. My big issue is these cracks right there and there. Those are the big issues that I'm not really happy with. So yeah. So yeah. I mean, it didn't come out perfect, obviously, but I'm just proud of myself for tackling this and doing this. I feel like these are just cosmetic things that can be fixed. And I will be asking the Home Depot people, what did they suggest and think too? To fix that. And like I said, I'm going next week to go place the big large order so I can have the stuff delivered here. And I'll talk to the Home Depot people about that. But for the time being, I would love to hear what y'all's opinions are, because I have thousands of followers on here, and I'm sure between all the thousands of people, somebody does construction work or this kind of work right here. So yeah, so be nice, don't criticize. This was all new to me. It was all a learning curve, and to be quite honest with you, I'd much rather have learned and this have been my first project than something major and bigger. So I'm satisfied, just except for these cracks. All right, guys. This project is pretty much done. Now I can go to the storage unit, start bringing stuff over, and be done with this one. And on to the next. Till next time.